Does this make you happy? How about this? Does this make you happy? Let's try this. It's okay if this doesn't make you happy. Finding a dopamine hit these days is quite simple. But making the feeling of eudaimonia stick around is the hardest thing to do. Eudaimonia derives from ancient Greek, often describing happiness. It's a long-lasting feeling which is difficult to obtain in modern times. Technology has its perks for the quest of happiness, but even from time to time, we can't always depend on it.
Okay, clap your hands 3 times.
For the record, your voice and face will be featured on screen, so hope you don't mind that. Do note if you feel uncomfortable during any of the questions, we can just move forward.
Okay.
Could you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your background?
Okay, so my name is Rianne.
My name is Ziying on IC, but I go by Shira.
I'm Kelvin. I'm currently a DIBS student, which is a diploma in broadcasting and film in ICT.
I have 3 siblings and a dog. And I study optometry at Sagi, and I also do part-time beauty makeup.
I live in PJ, and I am currently studying a very tedious degree.
Hi, my name is PJ. I am from SS2, Petaling Jaya. I currently study in Inti University. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
So, what brings you happiness?
What brings me happiness?
Maybe like the things I like to do, like my hobbies.
More like connections with people brings me happiness. Yeah, and the time I spend with people also brings me happiness. And the time I spend with people also includes myself.
Mainly just doing things I like my hobby, and spending quality time with, the people I care.
It's a very simple word, but it's a simple feeling, a simple where you can. What brings me happiness? I can get from a lot of places, a lot of things, but if you want to sum it all up, it's fulfillments in life.
So, is there a difference between your short-term and long-term happiness?
Short-term happiness is like, maybe let's say when I buy something that I like, and then all of a sudden I feel a surge of, let's say, satisfaction.
Short-term happiness is very shallow, I think. Short-term happiness can be scrolling through reels on Instagram.
It can be working on a project, long-term, short-term project. Somehow, I can still say it's like a short-term happiness, even though it's a long-term project. I work with my friends and all. Like, you finish this project, then finish already. Move on to the next thing.
Long term, maybe it's like accumulative, like all those short things, and then it will next time be bigger.
Long-term, it could be achieving a new character development. Like, level up.
It's more like planning to stay in contact with people that I enjoy being with, and actually making the time to spend with them. And it's kind of hard because there is work, there is self-care, and there's also the matter of like syncing the time with them to be with them. And it's kind of, but it takes effort, but the reward is like, it gives like a high dopamine rush for like the entire day.
I would say it doesn't come immediately. It comes after you've established like a foundation. let's say building a relationship with, the people I love. Yeah, something like that.
Can you talk about your hobbies a little bit?
My hobbies, like what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so okay, so okay, I like to play games. I like to take pictures, photography, watching shows and YouTube stuff also I like to do. That's all I can think of right now.
So in terms of your hobbies, could you elaborate a bit about how that hobby would bring you happiness?
So let's say right now I'm passionate about climbing, right? Indoor climbing. So it's something like, let's say I'm doing a very hard route that's on my limit, and then when I keep trying it, and sooner or later I land a difficult move, I'll feel happy. I'll feel like I progressed. And when I eventually send a route that's very difficult, I'll feel that happiness, and it just keeps going on because there are always routes, and it keeps me going, keeps my passion going, and yeah, that's how I gain happiness from my hobby. Yeah.
I guess because I find it fun.
Mm-hmm.
Find it fun, then continue doing it. Yeah.
Okay. Could you elaborate a bit about how working on those projects bring you that said happiness?
Short-term happiness, yeah. It's like actually on example like a film production, like working with directors, cameramen from pre-production, during production, and post-production. There's different like categories I get here and there, but it all sums up to finishing this film, this documentary, this production. And once we had that done, we give it out, feel happy, feel happy for a bit that me and my friends did this, and that's all. Then it just stops there.
You mentioned that you wanted to make long-lasting connections with people. So is there a specific way that you approach that, like specific planning or?
It's just it's very impromptu. Like when I feel like, hey, I'm like getting disconnected with this person that I want to be connected with, then I make time. I see if they're free, and then I'll make time and kind of hang out with them, go out to eat. I find eating is a great outing. I'll enjoy it, they'll probably enjoy it, and if we're really awkward, then there's always food. And then like also if they need any emotional support that they have absolutely no one to go to, I try to make myself available as much as possible. So yeah.
Then in terms of your long-term, the accumulative, can you elaborate a bit more about it?
Okay, wait. Cause like I think like through these short periods of time where you have the fun, then like after that, like you look back and you see it's like as a whole, and then I don't know how to explain. It's like yeah.
So you mentioned that your long-term happiness is character development. What part of that character development brings you the happiness?
So throughout my personal experience of character development, it truly started off when I met like the right friends, where my friends like guide me through the situation I was going through, and then from that interaction with that friend, I slowly grow into a different person. And after that, even though I still talk to friends, but from that initial interaction with that friend, I developed the skill to really self-reflect, really give myself time, learn what's going on right now, what I'm feeling right now, what's the situation, what's the problem, and slowly I can develop my own solution to the problems that I couldn't solve like before meeting that friend that helped me along. And even though I still talk to friends to some problems sometimes, but I'm much more capable of developing my own character right now.
So in terms of making those time to have those outings,
Mm-hmm.
what do you usually do when you aren't exactly able to achieve that?
Discord. Discord period. It's easy because voice chat, so everything is easier there. Internet, just text, drop in, say hi. Even though I rarely do that because like texting is so ill.
So is there anything that you do in return when you aren't exactly able to achieve the happiness?
I give myself time lor. And I talk to friends about it lor.
I wouldn't say so, because to me it's like happiness is essential, right? You need it to keep going, but to me it's kind of like a bonus. Most of the time I feel indifferent. I just feel normal in that way. Yeah, it's like I don't try to substitute happiness with anything, because I know it's happiness when it's the real thing. So I don't try to, I wouldn't say fake it, but just like try to find a replacement for it.
Okay.
Something
It's quite subjective for someone to define happiness. It's an extremely raw element, yet many people were able to find it. But when they do, it is often on a personal level where the word happiness is linked to their lives. There are many words to describe happiness. Similarly, there are also many methods to feel happy. For an example, picking up a new hobby, enjoying a cup of coffee, or maybe even sitting in silence.
Is there anything currently stopping you from achieving that said happiness at right now?
Lecture notes.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I'm glad to say I don't think so. I'm able to, find friends, give myself time, bond with people, do my own stuff. Yeah, I don't think so.
So has your perception of happiness changed throughout the years?
To be honest, I'm a bit. I don't remember how I felt about happiness in the past, but I would say yes.
Oh, absolutely. I used to not care as much friends because like loner. But like after a few years, like I realized having like good strong connections with people isn't as like bad as I thought it would be.
Change. I feel like a better word would be develop lah. It's like, you're a kid, you don't know what is happiness. Oh, good grades, happiness. And that's your whole world. I'm like, huh? Okay lah, no grades, no happy lah. Yeah, until you learn yourself that, oh, happiness is not good grades. It's more than that. Good grades is just short-term lah. Short-term happiness lah. It's such a small short-term happiness, but it's so sad that so many people are trapped in that.
I think so, yes.
Can you elaborate a bit about that?
I think when like I was young, like I think normal lah, like you don't really think about it. And now like you're getting older, it's like you think about it more and like, oh, why am I not happy? Why am I not this? Why am I that? Yeah. Why am I so sad? Yeah.
So was there a time in your life where you didn't feel exactly the happiest? And do you do anything to try to change it?
Yeah, I was unhappy at certain points of my life. but I had my friends and my family to help me get through it lah. So
I'll say yes. Like, I think it was around the SPM study season, you know.
Mhm.
We were all cramming. We didn't have time to deal with a lot of stuff. Then at the time is just very stressed, so no time for happiness, right?
Yeah.
Then I would say after SPM, I just took my time to readjust and start doing the stuff I like and just rest a lot. Yeah, I think that's how I deal with it.
MCO. I locked myself in a room for 3 months. I cried to very, very happy songs, and then like there's just epiphanies. It's not one epiphany. It's multiple epiphanies. Then it's like, oh, okay, yeah. This I can make this work. I can look at life in a different way, and I'll be much happier. And that's what I did.
I won't say a time, it's a period.
Okay.
Nothing has changed during that period. Because it's just, wrong place, wrong people. Only till I met the right people, it slowly changes. Slowly. And I'm alive today. Sorry.
For the final question, when was the first time you can recall experiencing genuine happiness, and how old were you then?
Genuine happiness. I don't know, maybe when I was young. And maybe when I was younger, and also like a lot of times also lah, I feel, because like I'm happy to be with other people sometimes, and I feel comfortable, then I'll be genuinely happy. Yeah.
Short term would be, as a kid, ooh, Papa buy me this toy. Or just you finish building this Gunpla or Lego, that short term happiness of achieving something. It's a very childish is not the right word, but I can't find the right word. It's a very the Chinese Taiwan would say 纯真 but 纯真 it doesn't sound right also. It's very somewhat pure, but I don't know, I feel like pure is still not the right word. Somewhat, it's a pure childhood happiness, something like that. As for long-term happiness, what's the question again?
I would say when my parents brought me to the park and I was like playing around with the monkey bar, and I was able to hang on for a while, and they just kept cheering on. Yeah, that was around like 3 or 4, I think.
It was very fleeting also. It was when I got my SPM results, and then I didn't, it's not a flex, I didn't get full A's, and then I called back, and then I'm like gonna be so mad. But then my grandfather's like, hey, it's okay, you did a great job. And I'm like, finally, thank you. Yeah. So yeah.
Since you finally got acknowledged for your good grades.
More like they finally stopped on me for not getting like the perfect grades that they want lah. Yeah, but that's like, it's not it's okay like it kind of is genuine happiness, but it was fleeting because I knew that this is like, it's not a toxic place to get happiness from. Yeah.
Long-term happiness is character development, leveling up. First time leveling up.
Is there a specific character development that you're really happy with?
Every moment of the day, every lesson I learn, through every relationship I have with people, through every project I do myself and with people. Yeah, I'm happy that I'm able to find, like, through everything I just said, I'm happy to, through everything I'm go through, whether relationship, working with people, working with myself, I'm happy to say I'm able to see what's the issue and what I can improve on. And yeah, I'm truly happy to say I'm capable of that.
You say it's very difficult for you to recall happiness the first time, right? What we mean is do you have like your first time getting a toy, or like that first memory where you feel that or not? It's like first time getting a toy, you feel that kind of happiness or anything like that?
First time
Yeah.
like
It can be anything. Like even like if you say like, oh, yesterday I went out to eat and I feel happy, that kind of feeling also can.
Got lah, actually, like recently also I just got something for myself, I think. What did I get? I don't remember. But yeah, I got something for myself and I was like
Do you have any closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts. Happiness is I feel like let me
Take your time.
Happiness is a perception. Is that the word?
Perception.
Yes, perception. You only acquire happiness when you allow yourself to acquire happiness. No one's going to give you that happiness. No one. Yeah.
the environment you grew up with, the people you surround with, right? It do affects your perception of happiness, but only you yourself know what makes you happy, and it's sad that in this world some people just won't achieve like real happiness, but some people will, and it's good for them, the people that did, and it's sad that some people did not, so the only thing you can say is know yourself, because technically once we were born, is that the right grammar, the day we were born, we never know who are we, and from a baby, from a kid, technically the people around you are supposed to teach you that, but some people just don't have that privilege, and I'm just going to go in circles, some people grow up to meet other people, to learn how to know themselves more and know have feelings like a normal human being, and know what makes them truly happy, yeah. It's definitely not easy for every people to reach that stage, Everyone has their own journey, and it's fast. Some people just slower, some people is faster, and some people will never meet, and I think it's totally fine, it's totally fine, Nothing's perfect, they say nothing is perfect.
There are a lot of things in life that if you look at it differently, you can find the good in it, right? So if you look at it on a different perspective, you can either let the bad news not affect you that much, or try to find the good in it, not because there is good in it, but just to not let it affect you that much, not make it so depressing for you, just for your mental health. It's hard, but sometimes the mindset can really, really save yourself like a very depressing day or month or year. Yeah. It's just how you look at things.
Aristotle once said, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. That cannot be further from the truth for finding happiness.
We can do so many things in our lives that define happiness, but it's all different. The best way to determine the best outcome would be to try everything, or to sit and think.
Your choice.